RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to game number 2 of our high school football doubleheader here on Friday night. I'm Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. We're at Alton Public School Stadium where the Alton Redbirds get set to host the Quincy Blue Devils. Redbirds coming off an 0-9 season would like to get things started right this year under their new head coach. Right down the middle of the field. Moore going to go back into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And the Redbirds will start at the 20-yard line where they'll have it.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
Hi, George Weber. Here's 3 more great reasons to visit Weber Chevrolet this fall. Number 1, product. Chevrolet has the best lineup of vehicles in the market today. Cobalt, Malibu, Impala, Silverado, Traverse, Equinox. Reason number 2, the deals. Right now, we have extra incentives and aggressive pricing on all of our units, resulting in huge savings. Number 3, your trade-in. After Cash for Clunkers, we were forced to crush so many of our trades that our pre-owned inventory needs some help. Your used vehicle has never been worth more.
1st and 10, and they'll be led by the quarterback Newquist. Corbin Newquist, a senior for the Alton Redbirds, will lead the troops here tonight on opening night at Public School Stadium.
Coach Allball has a lot of good things to say about Newquist as a quarterback. He mentioned that he expects a lot and is very hard on his quarterbacks and expects him to be an extension of him on the field, and he feels that Corbin Newquist is up for the challenge, and he's excited to see what this young man will bring to the table here this evening.
New coach and same type of offense so for the Redbirds with the 2 wings as Moore goes in motion, and the handoff will go to Moore. He's headed up the right side and pushed out of bounds just prior to the 30-yard line, and they'll have a good gain on 1st down.
Great job by the right tackle there of Alton sealing the outside. A big block by the wide receiver, and Moore with a great run to start the day off here. Picked up about 8 yards there with a sweep to the right side.
Lined up as that left wing back and took the handoff from Newquist around the right end for a gain of 8, and that'll set up 2nd down and 2. Newquist under center, wing backs left and right side, a single back behind him. There's Moore in motion, and he will take it again, turn it upfield, and has the 1st down out near the Redbird 35.
Very similar play there on the second play from scrimmage. They went to the right side again, but this time Moore cut it up inside the tackle. He didn't take it to the outside. The tackle kicked his block outside, and Moore cut it up inside, and a nice gain there. And Alton picks up a 1st down, and the Redbirds looking sharp here, Dennis, getting things started here in the early going.
Definitely getting some confidence now with a couple of good plays and a 1st down already. 1st and 10 now from the 34-yard line. Man in motion, and this time they'll fake it to him, and turning it up the middle will be Newquist, and he'll pound his way out to near the 45, near another Redbird 1st down, and a good job by Newquist there.
Yeah, great job by Newquist improvising there. It looked like he wanted to pitch to the outside, but there was nobody there. He just kept it himself, cut it right up the middle, and picked up a 1st down, maybe 2nd and 1 there, 9 or 10 yards on the carry.
He had Mikey Teague in motion, faked it to him, and just spun around and headed up the middle. Newquist will climb under center again. He'll have Andrew Moore directly behind him. Wings to the left and right, and here's Lawrence Moore in motion. They'll give it to Andrew, and he rips away from a tackler and fights his way up to near the midfield stripe. Another first down for the Redbirds.
That's a big run there by Andrew Moore, big number 4s. He was in the backfield. One of the Quincy defensive linemen got to him, had him by the jersey, but he just kept those legs churning, and the big, strong number 4 carried his way out for a first down.
Senior at 5'9", 175 pounds, Andrew Moore. The single back again behind Newquist. Wingbacks left and right side with 2 receivers to the right side. Lawrence Moore in motion again. He'll take the handoff, headed up the right side again, and pushed out of bounds just shy of the first down marker. And Quincy unable to stop that play so far.
And Moore's doing a great job, Lawrence Moore, there, of just making up his mind right as he gets the ball, seeing it early, making up his mind, and hitting the hole he wants to hit. He's not indecisive at all. He's just taking the ball, he's hitting the hole, and he's doing a great job here on 3 carries so far tonight.
Into Quincy territory to their 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Redbirds break huddle. They'll send a couple receivers to the right side. Wing back on that side as well. One to the left with the single back again behind Newquist, and Lawrence Moore in motion. This will be Andrew Moore with a big hole right side. Pounds his way down to the Blue Devil 30-yard line.
I tell you what, that was a heck of a lot of speed for a fullback. If you got that kind of burst on your first step or your first 2 steps like Andrew Moore just had there, I mean to tell you, he took out that backfield more like a tailback than a fullback, Dennis.
Quick burst of speed to get another Redbird first down. They're going to call him out of bounds at the Quincy 32-yard line. And the Redbirds, the wheels rolling. 10-21, first quarter action. Newquist under center. 3 receivers right side, and now Lawrence Moore in motion. Now the defensive line moving up front for Quincy. We'll see if they're drawn offside. First flag of the night. We'll see who this is on here on first down.
Tell you what, it looked like Lawrence Moore did a little bit of a deke there as he was going in motion. A nice job by Lawrence Moore as he was going in motion right behind the line. And actually, the call's going to go against him. They got him for the little juke when we thought he did a good job drawing them off sides.
Illegal motion against the Redbirds, and that'll back them up 5, and they'll face first down and 15. It'll push the ball back across the 35-yard line to about the 37. 10-20 on the clock. First quarter action as the Redbirds break huddle. Triplet. The wing back on the right side. Moore to the left side with Andrew Moore in motion. Here's Lawrence Moore taking the handoff, turning it upfield and working his way back to near the 30-yard line. Stop there. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Alton seems very content on just running the ball, and why not when you're ripping it off at 6 and 7 yards a carry, give or take. Now they're doing a great job exploding off the ball here in the early going, driving the Quincy Blue Devils back off the snap each and every time. And if you're going to run the ball like this, I guess you just keep on doing it.
They push it across the 30 to the 29. It'll set up 2nd down and 7. The Redbirds continue to pick up big yardage on each play. They'll send a receiver split wide right. Wing back in the slot on that side with Lawrence Moore now in motion from the left side. And they'll give it off up the middle. Andrew Moore, big hole, and he'll be stopped at the 15, and that saved a touchdown there as Andrew Moore was 1 tackler away from breaking free.
Yeah, Sean Woods, number 53 of Quincy, was in the backfield. Looked like he had a beat on Moore, and the big man just shook him one time, got through him, and was off to the races. And another great pickup there for the Redbirds, but there is a flag on the field.
And it's going to be holding against the Redbirds, so this one is going to be called back. So a couple of penalties on this drive now for the Redbirds, and they'll back them up here. Back to the 32-yard line. 2nd down will be played over. It looks like it'll be about 2nd down and 10. Offensive line doing a good job on that right side. We've seen some big holes over there. And once again, the fullback, that time, Andrew Moore, pounding his way through a big hole, but may have had a hold there on one of those linemen to get that hole. Newquist under center, wingbacks left and right. Here's Lawrence Moore in motion, and he'll take the handoff. Not much room there. He does fight his way back to near the 30-yard line for a gain of a couple.
Well, it looked like Quincy was ready that time for that sweep to the right side by Lawrence Moore. They were up to the challenge, and they stood strong, and it'll be 3rd and long here for the Redbirds. And after starting off with such a great drive, you'd hate to see it stall here. It'd be a very long field goal attempt from here, about a 46, 47-yarder.
Tyler McLemore brings in the play from the sidelines as the Redbirds face 3rd down and 9. McLemore will split wide left. That's the wide side of the field. Moore, the wing back on that side. And here's a man in motion. That's Triplett taking the handoff. He'll cross the 30 and work his way up to near the 25. Stopped at about the 27. And that's going to bring up 4th down. We'll see what the Redbirds do here in Quincy territory.
I thought maybe right there on 3rd and long, fairly deep into Quincy territory, maybe Coach Allball would let Newquist put it in the air, but not the case. He kept it on the ground there, and it'll be 4th and about 5.
Douglas Jones will bring in the play this time for the Redbirds as they break huddle. He'll send Triplett to the right side as the wingback. Moore will come to the left side. Lawrence Moore, Andrew Moore, the single back. Lawrence Moore starts in motion, now heads back the other way. Now Newquist steps out from underneath the center, looks to the sideline, maybe an audible here. Here's Moore again, and he'll take the handoff. Lawrence Moore trying to get around the end, and he will be stopped, and Quincy will take over on downs. No gain on that play.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Honey, who does our car insurance?
State Farm.
And what about our house?
State Farm, too.
And what about our life insurance?
Why do you ask?
Well, I've got something to tell you.
Bringing new life into the world is one of many great reasons to talk about life insurance. So contact your State Farm agent today. They'll help you choose the right coverage.
Contact Tom Lane to discuss all of your life insurance needs at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
Well, they went right back to the bread and butter that had been working most of the drive, that sweep to the right side. And it just wasn't there, as the Blue Devils did a great job stringing that play down the line of scrimmage, not giving Moore much to work with. And the young man worked hard, but he couldn't come up with the first down.
So the Redbirds do a good job of moving the ball down the field, but then a couple of penalties, and they end up turning it over on downs now to the Quincy Blue Devils. Quincy will line up with, looks like the I formation behind the quarterback, who I believe is Mitch Merrill. It is. He will hand it to the fullback, who's met at the line of scrimmage, and then a couple more red jerseys come in, and they'll stop him with a gain of about a yard or so.
Nice job there by the Redbird front seven as they were smashed that run up at the line of scrimmage. The fullback tried to sneak through there, but they weren't having any of that. It'll be 2nd and 10.
No gain for G.W. Scott for Quincy. 2nd down and 10 now. Merrill, the quarterback, under center, offset eye behind him. And they will try to get it to the wingback, left side. He'll get a few yards. Looks like he picks up 3 or 4 over that left side.
Nice play there by the Blue Devils as an inside handoff to the running back. Took it outside the left tackle, picked up about half of the yardage they needed. It'll be about 3rd and 5 here for the Blue Devils.
They call it 3rd and 6 as the Blue Devils break huddle. Merrill brings his troops to the line. An offset eye behind him. Merrill, a long count at the line of scrimmage. Now finally takes the snap, and they'll go with the counter to the right side. Redbirds sniff it out and close them down at about the 35-yard line. Good job by the linebacker or the cornerback there to turn that one back upfield so the pursuit could make the stop. That's going to bring up 4th down and a long one, maybe 2.
See what Quincy decides to do here. As you mentioned, it's a long one and even closer to 2 on 4th down at their own 36-yard line.
Looks like the Blue Devils are going to try to muscle this one into 1st down territory, and a big stop here if the Redbirds can do it. 4th down, they give it to the fullback. That's G.W. Scott. We'll see where they give him his forward progress. Looked like they had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, but then a late surge, and we'll see where they mark the ball. They may have got it. They did get the 1st down.
G.W. Scott did a good job there of getting through contact as Andrew Moore met him right at the line of scrimmage, but Scott was able to get through him, knock him back, and pick up the yardage for the 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Merrill will roll out left, looking downfield, pressured. Now will run with it. He'll turn it upfield and pick up 5 or 6 as he crosses the 45-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Merrill was wanting to go to Kendall Kendrick there, his tight end, number 84, but excellent coverage by the Redbirds. Xavier Triplett, number 13 there. There was no chance Merrill was going to be able to get that throw into his receiver Kendrick, so he decided to run with it and picked up about 7.
2nd down and 3 now for Quincy as they'll send 3 receivers split out to the right side. A single back behind the quarterback Merrill. Looks like Scott. It is. He'll take the handoff and he'll just barrel his way into 1st down territory across the midfield stripe. Another 1st down for Quincy.
G.W. Scott showing you a little bit of what he contributed last year to these Blue Devils, as he is their leading returning rusher for Quincy. He had 411 yards last year, and he rushed for 7 touchdowns in a backup role. He averaged 4.5 yards per carry. So G.W. Scott did get some action last year and was pretty successful on his time on the field.
1st and 10, Blue Devils. Split backs behind the quarterback Merrill. They'll give it to Scott again, left side, and he'll push his way a little farther into Redbird territory. Stop prior to the 40-yard line, short of the 1st down.
The Blue Devils just blew the Redbirds off the line of scrimmage on that snap there. Nobody even got a hand on G.W. Scott until he was about 5 yards downfield.
2nd down coming up now for Quincy. 2nd down and 2. Merrill under center, split backs behind him, and they'll give it to the running back who is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He may have forced his way forward enough to gain 1. We'll see where they mark it. That was Andre Gibbons on the carry that time. Short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 3rd down now for Quincy, 3rd and short. We'll see if they go to the big guy, G.W. Scott, here in this short situation. 3 receivers split right side. The only back is Scott. Merrill under center. And they'll go to Scott, and he has the 1st down. It looks like he lost the football. We'll see if he got it back. Reaching out as he went to the ground, and we'll see who ended up with that one. A couple of white jerseys down there, but a red jersey as well, and it looks like Quincy catches a break there and gets the football back.
Well, they definitely caught a break there. He had the 1st down yardage, but then the ball came loose. I couldn't tell if it was Andrew Moore, number 4, that got his hand in there and knocked that loose, but Quincy catching a huge break there as they got the ball back.
They'll take G.W. Scott out for a moment to give him a breather, and Quincy will face 1st down and 10 now from a Redbird 36-yard line. Man in motion, and they will give it off to that man, and he'll pick up a yard or 2 over the left side. Looks like they'll give him about 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, with the momentum that Alton grabbed in the early going with their offensive drive, they've definitely lost a lot of that mojo, and it's been picked up by Quincy, as now they're really starting to get in a groove here on the offensive side of the ball.
2nd and 7. And the handoff A fake, now a rollout. Here's Merrill throwing downfield and overthrowing his intended receiver. Good play action there. And he had a man, but just overthrew him. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, he sure did have a man. Drew Forrest, number 26, tight end, was pretty much wide open down that right sideline, and Merrill just overthrew him. Nice bootleg, good play action fake, and just overthrew his receiver.
3rd down and 7 now for Quincy as they come to the line of scrimmage. The Redbird 34-yard line. Split backs behind the quarterback, and it will be G.W. Scott on the call this time, and he's going to make second effort and come up with near a 1st down. We'll see where they mark this, but looked like they had him stopped around the 30, and all of a sudden he pushes his way forward. It looks like he may be just shy, but he's close to a 1st down.
Yeah, G.W. Scott is no small load out there at 5'11", 230 pounds. Once he gets that body rolling, he's hard to stop. And as you saw there, and as you mentioned, that second effort is what's going to make it 4th and inches instead of 4th and 4.
And what do you want to bet G.W. Scott gets the call here, 4th and inches? He lines up directly behind Merrill, the quarterback. And Merrill will keep it and lunge forward, and it looks like he may have enough depending on where they mark this one. Had the initial surge, but it really didn't follow through with that surge. He kind of got stacked up. It looked like he got just enough for the 1st down, and he did.
It looked like one of those where the surge was in the A gap, and he ran to the B gap and hit the back of his lineman, but he fell down just far enough to pick up the 1st down.
1st down and 10 now for Quincy. Deep in Redbird territory as they line up at the 26. Here's a little reverse. And around the end go the Blue Devils near another 1st down, down near the 20-yard line. And that is number 36, Dan Girth, on the carry.
A nice little misdirection play by the Quincy Blue Devils there. A little bit of a reverse. Got the Redbirds running to their left, crossed them up back to their right, and a nice gain there. And Quincy continually moving the ball here in the early going on the Redbirds.
Gain of 6 by Girth to set up a 2nd down and 4 for the Redbird, or for Quincy, excuse me. And now movement up front by Alton, and we'll see if they were drawn off sides, but looked like a hard count from this angle. Merrill walking toward the sidelines with confidence that they were able to draw the Redbirds off there, and that'll set up another Quincy 1st down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, Mitch Merrill has a lot of experience for these Blue Devils. A senior starting quarterback, his 3rd year as a starter, and he showed a lot of his experience there as he drew the Redbirds off sides.
Quincy really running the clock here on this drive, down to 1:31 left in the quarter. 1st quarter action, split backs behind Merrill. And they'll give it to Scott with a hole on the left side. 2nd effort as he pushes his way forward and is stopped near the 5-yard line, short of the 1st down. He had a nice hole that time on the left side.
Big hole on the left side for G.W. Post. And G.W. Post doesn't need a hole. He can run over guys. And if you give him a big hole like that, he's going to rip you up at 10 yards a pop. The Redbirds are going to have to do something up front with that front 4 to slow down G.W. Post.
Gain of 8 on the plays. The Blue Devils line up with split backs again behind Merrill. They will give it to the 2nd man through, who will pick up enough for the 1st down, but is stopped shy of the goal line. I believe that was Andre Gibbons on the carry that time for Quincy. And that sets up 1st and goal from the Alton Redbird 3.
It's been a long, tiring drive for the Redbirds defense. The Blue Devils just cramming it right down their throat here in this first drive. See if they've got any energy left.
30 seconds to go in the quarter. And they'll give it to G.W. Scott, who puts his head down and fights his way down to near the 1 yard line. Clock continues to roll down to 15 seconds. Quincy facing second and goal now from the 1. And more than likely they'll be going back to G.W. Scott to get that last yard they need. But it won't be until the second quarter as the first quarter comes to an end. No score after 1. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Write this down. 1-0. 2. Get it running, he said. Go to the website, schools.org, and you can look at today's setback running. You get an entry form. All fans on your feet for the second return.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. The Redbirds set to return the kick after the G.W. Scott touchdown. The Blue Devils out in front 7-0. They have Lawrence Moore standing on the 5 and awaiting the kick from White. This is a line drive kick. Takes a big hop and it's picked up at the 5. They'll hand it off to Moore at the 10, who tries to reverse field, and maybe not such a good idea there by the Redbirds. They are stopped at the 10-yard line. Ball was fielded by Douglas Jones, and he ran up to the 10 and then handed it to Lawrence Moore, who had nowhere to go.
It looked like obviously they had a reverse set up for the return, but when the kick, like a squib kick like that, and it squirted all the way to the corner, it didn't set up right, and it just didn't look that good from the get-go for the Redbirds on that particular reverse on their kick return, and now they'll set up 1st and 10 at their own 11.
And Newquist back under center for the Redbirds. Wing backs left and right. Single back behind Newquist. It'll be Moore taking the handoff from that wingback position and working his way across the 15-yard line to about the 16.
It's a nice job by Lawrence Moore there. There wasn't a whole lot to the outside where he was originally heading, and he bounced that back to the inside and picked up a quick 6 yards there for the Alton Redbirds.
Here's Triplett coming into the ball game now for the Redbirds, along with Douglas Jones. Jones will split wide right. Triplett will be the wingback on the right side. Newquist under center with Moore behind him, and it'll be Triplett taking that. No, it's a fake. Newquist rolling out now left side, headed to the sidelines and sliding out of bounds. Looks like he got enough for the first down. And a good fake that time by the quarterback, Newquist.
Yeah, great job by Newquist there. After the fake, showing his athleticism there, he showed some good speed getting to the outside and picking up the first down, as you mentioned, as he slid. Just as he got to the marker, he slid out of bounds. And Alton High once again picking up a first down to start their drive.
They get it out to about the 22, 23-yard line. We'll call it the 23 at first down and 10. Newquist under center, wingbacks left and right. Man in motion, Lawrence Moore. And the handoff will go to Andrew Moore with no place to go. Stacked up and pushed back for loss.
That play right there to Andrew Moore working up the middle. Worked a couple times on their first drive, but Quincy wasn't having any of it there on that particular play as they stood him up and maybe even backed him up a yard. And that'll be a hole for the Redbirds there, just second down and long.
Second down, and he looks like 11. With 10:18 on the clock, second quarter action, Redbirds come to the line. Receiver split wide right. Here's Lawrence Moore in motion. He'll take the handoff. He'll try to get around the end and is pushed out of bounds before he gets to the 25-yard line.
It looked like there might be some room to run out there at first for Lawrence Moore. It looked like he might be a nice gain, and all of a sudden the Quincy defense shut down that real quick, made up the ground, and real short gain there. It'll be third and long for the Redbirds.
Ball at the 23 now, and it'll set up third down and 10. Redbirds need a big play here, trailing 7-0 in the second quarter. Just under 10 minutes on the clock. Newquist under center. Blue Devils showing blitz. And Newquist going to throw. Firing it. Has a man. Triplett. Completed to about the 40-yard line where he's pushed out of bounds. Nice athletic catch there, too, by Triplett. Going up for that one.
It was a nicely designed play by the Alton Redbirds there as the inside receiver, number 80 for the Alton Redbirds. I believe that's Tyler Mecklenmore. Took off on a fly just straight down the middle of the field, and the safety went with him down the middle of the field, and the button hook on the outside to Xavier Triplett was wide open, and a little bit of a high ball delivered by Newquist, but as you mentioned, a tremendous jumping catch by Triplett, and a first down for the Redbirds through the air.
Newquist under center, wingbacks left and right, double tight this time, and they'll give it to Triplett. Now the reverse to Moore. Moore with running room. Moore across the 50-yard line and pushed out of bounds as he lunges his way into Quincy territory.
Lawrence Moore showing a lot of desire right there on that run. Picked up 6 real quick and easy, and then the last 6 or 7 were tough, and he just kept battling and made his way down that sideline for a first down, and Lawrence Moore is running hard here this evening.
Stopped just shy of the 46. First down and 10 for the Redbirds with 9:19 and ticking on the clock. Double wing. Man in motion is Lawrence Moore, and they'll hand it to Andrew Moore. Sidesteps the tackler and then crosses the 45 and stop there. That's going to bring up second down now for the Redbirds 8:57 to go before halftime as Andrew Moore picks up 3 on the carry. Second and 7 coming up for the Redbirds here. Clock down to 8:35, and the Redbirds taking a lot of time getting this play to the line of scrimmage. Newquist under center. Now in motion is Lawrence Moore, and Newquist spun like he was going to pitch that to Moore, and this just kind of kept it. I wonder if that was a busted play there and nowhere to go for Newquist.
Yeah, it looked as if it was a busted play. He went one way, the running backs went the other, and it looked like all of a sudden he just wanted to make the most of it there. He kind of just huddled up on the ball and fell down forward the best he could, but definitely a busted play by the Redbirds there, and that'll make it 3rd and about 6 for the Redbirds.
Newquist picked up a little bit. 3rd down and 6 now for the Redbirds, and we'll see if they go back to the air. Only one pass tonight for Newquist, but he connected with Triplett. And Newquist will, well, it looks like he handed it off to the fullback, who was hit immediately and pushed back all the way into Redbird territory. And he loses the football, but I think they're going to call him down, and that was Lawrence Moore, who had lined up just to the right of the quarterback, Newquist, who is under center. I'm not sure. I didn't see Newquist even hand him the ball. I wonder if the center snapped it directly to Moore there.
It looked like Newquist, as soon as he got the snap, just stuck it in the belly of Moore real quick and kept on running to the outside with the option fake. But Quincy saw it the whole way. They knew Moore had the ball, and they drove him back. A loss on the play, and not real sure how to explain that play there, Dennis, but it did not work.
The odd part about it was that Lawrence Moore never moved. He just kind of stood there. I guess that was the decoy part. And it looked like Quincy wasn't going to fall for that. Now the Redbirds going to punt it away, and here's a punt. Not a very good one. It's headed toward the sidelines and takes a Quincy bounce back to the 30.
Do you want a lower house payment without having to move? Olin Community Credit Union has made refinancing easy for you. With their online mortgage center, you can view current rates, apply online, sign up for Rate Watch, or contact one of Olin Community Credit Union's mortgage representatives. What are you waiting for? Call 618-258-3168 or visit online at www.olincreditunion.org to access their online mortgage center, where you can apply and receive an answer anytime, anywhere.
Everybody's saying buy American, but not me. I just want you to come drive American. Come out today and see for yourself. No one has a more impressive selection of vehicles than Ford. Whether it's a Focus, Fusion, Escape, Edge, F-150, or any other Ford product, no one can beat Ford's quality. Not Toyota, not Honda, not anybody.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years, just off Route 3 or Highway 67 in Alton, or at RiverBender.com.
And that's where the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10. So they stop the Redbirds about midfield, and now Quincy will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. And they put together a nice drive to put 7 on the board in that first quarter, and with 6:27 on the clock, we'll see if Quincy is able to control the ball like they did on that last drive. There at the line of scrimmage, we'll go with split backs behind the quarterback. Merrill under center. Man in motion, and they'll give it off up the middle. G.W. Scott picks up a few and then is dropped at about the 33-yard line.
It's a big series here for the Redbird defense. They need to come up with a stop. Their offense is showing some life at times, but overall not too smooth here this evening so far. They need to keep them in it right here, and they can't afford to go down 2 touchdowns here before halftime.
Second down for Quincy. The handoff right side. It's Gibbons, and Gibbons is going to be stopped before he gets back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll bring up 3rd down now for Quincy.
Nice job by Trey Farrow there, the linebacker for the Redbirds, staying with that play all the way down the line, making a tackle.
3rd down and 8 now coming up for Quincy. They're going to send 3 receivers split wide left, the wide side of the field. Another one to the right side. The single back is Scott. Merrill under center. Dropping back, and now we'll hand it off to Scott on the draw. Flag flies as Scott works his way across the 35 to about the 36. We'll see what the call is here, but that's in the area of holding.
I believe it was number 54, Bobby Jansen. Looked like he was holding Triplett down the field.
They talk it over with the Redbird captain. So we wait on the call here. 5:06 on the clock. 2nd quarter, and it is holding against Quincy, and that's will push it back all the way to the 22-yard line. That sets up 3rd and long for Quincy. Call it 3rd and 18. Blue Devils go with double tight, split backs, and the handoff. Nope. Dropping back is Merrill. They'll find a man in the flat. They'll get it to him, and now a flag flies late as a receiver taken down at about the 25.
It was a good read by Dorian Scruggs there, number 2. Fighting through a couple blockers out there on that screen pass and making the tackle, but
this may be a face mask or something like that.
Yeah, it sure is. It looked like Scruggs may have got his hand into the face mask making the tackle there.
So we'll see if the face mask mark-off gives them enough for the 1st down. It may. It's a 15-yarder, and it will push Quincy into 1st down territory. And not a good play there by the Redbirds. That could definitely cost them more points here before halftime. They had Quincy stopped on that drive, and the face mask penalty will give Quincy a 1st down. 4:32 to go before halftime. Merrill under center. Man in motion. They give it off to Scott, who pushes his way down to near the midfield stripe. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Quincy's loving the help the Redbirds just gave him there on that penalty, as now they can go back to G.W. Scott. You know, it's hard to hand it off to Scott when you're 3rd and long, 2nd and long, but after that penalty, 1st and 10, they give it to G.W. Scott. He picks them up 5 yards, and now they're out at midfield or close to it and looking to strike.
The Quincy 47-yard line. 2nd down coming up for the Blue Devils. 2nd down and 6. Merrill under center. Man in motion. And they'll hand it off to the first man through. That's Scott, and he'll fight his way up to the midfield stripe. Stopped shy of the 1st down, and that'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, if you're the Alton defense right here, you forget about the face mask penalty. You say to yourselves, it's 3rd down here, 3rd and 3. Let's toughen up, let's stop them, let's get the ball back and see what we can do. You're right here at midfield. Let's shut them down.
With 3:09 on the clock, here come the Blue Devils to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback under center. Man in motion, and they'll give it to the 2nd man through, who's going to have enough for the 1st down as he works his way into Redbird territory, picking up about 4. And carry by number 36 for the Blue Devils, and that is Dan Girth, his second carry of the night.
Well, it was a nice job there as G.W. Scott went through first. They faked the handoff to him. Obviously, everybody in the stadium thinking he's going to get the ball. He doesn't. They stick it in the belly of Girth, and Girth picks up the first down.
1st and 10 Quincy, Redbirds with the blitz. And rolling out is Merrill, throwing downfield, wide open, a man at the 15, 5, touchdown. Nobody on number 84 that time for Quincy, and that's Kendall Kendrick, wide open at the 15, and an easy touchdown there for Quincy.
Kendall Kendrick got behind the Redbirds secondary all alone, and a strike from Marold right to him. Wide open at the 15-yard line. He scampered the rest of the way for the touchdown, but a blown coverage there somewhere between Dorian Scruggs and Lawrence Moore. They were the two kind of looking at each other, wondering who man that was. But at any rate, Kendrick got behind the defense, and it's a 2-touchdown game now in favor of the Blue Devils.
They will try to tack on the extra one here and try to go up 14-0 with 2:38 left on the clock. Snap back, a good one. The kick on the way, and it's good to make it a 14-0 lead for Quincy. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt
in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from Tony.
Yeah! Woo!
The Oilers center ice. 13 has it. Oh, a shot a little bit wide. Oilers keep it in the zone.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. The Redbirds set to receive the third kickoff of this half from Quincy. 2 touchdowns for Quincy. The last one, a 48-yard touchdown pass from Merrill to Kendall Kendrick. And you got to go back to that face mask call where the Redbirds had him stopped. But with the face mask, it gave them a first down, and they were able to open up the field and put 7 more on the board. Here's Lawrence Moore with the return, and he'll bring it out to the 20, stop there. And that's where the Redbirds will take over 1st and 10.
Well, a little bit better field position this time for the Redbirds than their last drive. They started the last drive at their own 11. This time they'll be out at the 20. See what they can do here, at least. At worst case scenario, if you're the Alton Redbirds, you don't want to give the ball back to Quincy before halftime. You want to be able to run this down, hopefully put some points on the board, but at least run this first half out.
2:33 to go in the half for the Redbirds as they take it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Newquist under center. Receiver split off to the right side. Here's a man in motion, and now offsides by the Redbirds. Offsides on Dorian Scruggs. He left early from the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's one of those times you throw the ball so little that you got a pass play and called there, and the wide receivers are so excited to get downfield they just take off early. You know, they get so excited that the ball's going to be in the air that they jump just a little too quick. And as you mentioned, Dorian Scruggs took off too soon, and another penalty on the Redbirds.
That'll set up a 1st and 15 situation for Alton. Newquist under center. Blue Devils show blitz, and they give it to Lawrence Moore, and nowhere for him to go as he's stopped at about the 15. He may have lost a yard.
that sweep to the right for Lawrence Moore, which was working early in the game, is not as successful here as the game's gone on. Alton's going to need to look to do something different in order to get things started here.
Don't forget, folks, to stick around for the end of the game as we announce our Munganess Alton Toyota Player of the Game. And that will come immediately following this one. (14-0) Quincy. Dropping back is Newquist going downfield for Douglas, and he almost pulled that in under coverage, but couldn't hang on, and really a nice effort there by the receiver, Douglas Jones.
Yeah, great effort by Douglas Jones, but couldn't bring that in. And a beautifully thrown ball by Corbin Newquist. He threw that thing about 45 yards in the air. He out threw the coverage right into the extended arms of Douglas Jones, but Jones couldn't haul it in. And that's one of those times right there. It's obviously not an easy play, Dennis, by any means, but it's one where if Jones can hold on to that, it's such a huge play, gets this crowd going in. You got the ball out at midfield, and it's just one of those things that if you just feel bad for Douglas Jones, a tremendous effort and couldn't quite hold on to the ball.
Had that defender coming down on his back as they hit the ground, and he just couldn't hold on. Man in motion is Moore. And they'll hand it off up the middle, and Quincy is really toughing things up inside as they stop Andrew Moore for no gain. They knock him back a yard or two. That's going to bring up 4th down. And it looks like Quincy going to take a timeout here with 1:27 to go before halftime. We'll take a break. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
That's not good.
Not good.
No, not
They want that ball back. You should dress like that dude right there.
Which one?
Right there. Spiked hair, plaid shorts, right in front of us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got those shorts at home, so I've got to do the hair.
Not looking good at all. Welcome back to Alton Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. Redbirds set to punt it away here, facing 4th down at 18. They'll have to punt it away from their own end zone. Deep man at the Redbird 40-yard line. There's a snap back and the punt. Decent punt. Sends the return man back to the 45, and a fair catch called there. That's where Quincy will have it 1st and 10 in Redbird territory. They'll have 1:21 left on the clock to try and put some more points on the board. They lead it 14-0.
Well, from seeing the boot that Brandon White has put on these 2 extra points he's kicked, I can't help but think that he can hit a field goal from a pretty far distance. So if the Blue Devils can gain maybe 15, 16 yards in that range, they might be in field goal range for the big foot of Brandon White.
So 2 first downs will probably be just good enough to get 3 on the board, I would imagine. 20 yards. Dropping back is Merrill rolling out. He's got open field in front of him. Going to tuck it in. And he'll have the first down they need and more as he works his way across the 30 and stopped at the 29. And a huge gain there from Merrill on 1st down, taking the clock down to 1:12.
It's a great job by Merrill running the play-action fake. We've seen him do it a handful of times now already this evening, and he does such a great job with it. A good fake. Then he lets the play set up, and as you saw there, the Redbirds had good coverage on all 3 receivers, but the coverage was so good, Merrill just pulled it down and ran with it.
1st and 10, and he'll hand it off inside to Scott, and Scott will push the defensive line forward to pick up about 4. He'll work his way down to the 23, and Quincy going to take a timeout with 55.7 seconds to go before halftime. We'll take a break, too. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Get those spots in, boys.
It's going to be a little warm in here now.
RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis, and Merrill going to drop back and throw. Firing to the end zone, and this ball is intercepted, but there's a flag down in the end zone, and they may call pass interference here on the Redbirds triplet who picked that ball off.
You know, that's who they're going to call it on. But I think that ball was underthrown. I don't think the penalty really would have had much to do with the interception, but, you know, Xavier Triplett did have his hands on the receiver. The receiver did go down in the end zone, and another break for the Quincy Blue Devils.
And another Redbird penalty will put them in a tough situation. We'll see where they mark this after all the action here as they mark it off inside the 15 to about the 12. And that'll leave 47.2 seconds left to go before halftime. And now Quincy definitely in field goal territory, and they're threatening to put 7 up here. First and 10 from the 12. And Merritt's going to throw again, rolling out left side, pursued heavily, and just throws that one toward the end zone, incomplete, and he threw that one away to avoid the sack. And now here's another flag, laying at about the 11-yard line. We'll see. That's in the area of a holding penalty.
Well, Merrill was trying to throw that ball away out of bounds and didn't quite throw it far enough, and it was almost intercepted by the Redbirds in that corner of the end zone.
Quincy is going to be called for holding. So that'll back him up 10 more. Put him to about the 22-yard line. And leave 40 seconds on the clock to go here before halftime. Quincy up 14-0. They mark it at the 21. That's still probably, from what we've seen, within White's field goal range.
Well, he's definitely got the strength, the leg strength for this dip.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis and Andrew Moore, the injured player for the Redbirds, maybe cramped up a bit. He's off the field now. Quincy facing first down and 24. They hand it off inside. It's Scott with a carry as flags fly as they cross the 30. And we'll see what this flag is. Now, Laundry flying quite a bit on the Quincy side of the football. They're talking over with the Redbird captain. A penalty coming up here against Quincy.
Yeah, it looks like it was another holding call against Quincy. That'll back him up another about 10 yards, I believe. It's a spot foul there. But it's good for the Redbirds, though. This is the direction that you want to see the Blue Devils going. Backwards.
All the way back to the Redbird 42-yard line. First down and 31 down. Looks like Quincy going to send 3 receivers to the right side. Roth under center. Scott the single back as Maroth drops straight back. Gets pressured, loses the football, gets it back, and then fires incomplete. Maroth, the break there, got ready to throw and then lost that football, but got it right back in midair. Then able to throw it downfield for an incomplete pass.
It was one of the few times that when Merrill's gone back to pass that the Redbirds been able to get some pressure on him, and they flushed him out of the pocket, and it looked as if they might get a sack, but he was able to throw the ball out of bounds at the last second, and 2nd and long here.
Mitch Merrill brings his troops to the line. He's under center. 3 receivers to the short side. That's the right side of the field with Scott directly behind him. And they'll give it to Scott. He'll pound his way through the line of scrimmage and picked up off his feet and dropped at the 35. That's going to set up a 3rd and very long for the Blue Devils. Now timeout on the field. Looks like Triplett now hobbling off the field. So the Redbirds in this drive losing a couple of their better players to injury. And we'll see if Triplett can work out his leg problem.
He looks like his might be cramps as well. Andrew Moore's getting loose down there on the sideline as he cramped up a little bit ago. And that's 2 big parts of this team, Triplett and Andrew Moore, off on the sideline right now.
3rd and 24 now for Quincy. Merrill dropping back, pressured, looking downfield. Still looking, now throwing, and into coverage. It's picked off by the Redbirds. Picked off near the 20-yard line. And that is Thompson with the interception. Dontavier Thompson picks off the Merrill throw.
Well, that's 2 plays back-to-back that Dontavier Thompson has been crucial for the Redbirds out there as he put the big hit on Scott, G.W. Scott, the play before that flipped him upside down, made the crowd ooh and ah, and then on the very next play he intercepts the pass from Merrill. And a little bit of momentum here for the Redbirds.
Redbirds come to the line, fired up. 7:08 on the clock. Looking for their first points of the night. Single back behind the quarterback, Newquist. Moore in motion, the fake to him, and Newquist pressured, in trouble, and dropped at the 15. Trying to bootleg there, and Quincy all over it.
Newquist tried the best he could to get out of there, but it looked like number 11, D'Angelo Dean, the big defensive end, a junior for Quincy, coming around that outside edge, and Newquist just couldn't get away from him as D'Angelo Dean got him in the grasp and swung him around. The big defensive end is 6'5", 175 pounds, and once he got his big paws on Newquist, that was all she wrote as he swung him down to the ground.
2nd down and 18 now for the Redbirds. Newquist under center, and we'll give it off. Looks like Moore with a carry here. Not sure. Up to the 15-yard line. It is Moore. Andre Moore.
You know, I must say I like that first play call, even though it didn't work out. They came out with a little play action, a little bootleg, try and get some misdirection and put the ball in the air. And Newquist got for the sack, and then they had to turn and run the ball. Not a big pickup there, so we'll be 3rd and long here for the Redbirds.
Douglas Jones into the ball game for the Redbirds. He's going to split wide left. Him and Newquist playing some catch earlier on the sidelines. Newquist under center. In motion. And Newquist going out there looking for him. The throw is going to be picked off by Quincy at the 40-yard line. Kind of threw that one up for grabs, and Quincy comes down with it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if Newquist was trying to put a little extra touch on that or if it may have even slipped a little bit out of his hand, but as you mentioned, he just kind of fluttered out of his hand. Looked like it was just kind of up for grabs, and Quincy with an interception, and they'll take the ball right back from the Redbirds and have it at the 30-yard line.
So the Blue Devils get the football right back on the interception with 5:19 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Merrill under center. And the handoff going to go to Scott, and Scott with nowhere to go, able to fight for it for a yard or so, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Alton's done a much better job so far here in the 3rd quarter at handling G.W. Scott. The big running back that had a big first half has been a little bit silent here on the 2 drives so far for Quincy in the 2nd half.
Quincy at the line of scrimmage now, facing 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, Merrill with a fake now tries to run right, and he's going to be stopped, dropped for a loss. That'll bring up 3rd down. Redbird defense has really stepped it up as of late.
Well, Merrill looked like he thought he was going to be able to run that ball out around his right tackle, and the Redbird defense was there to hold that up. Looked like Trey Farrell doubling up with his linebacker partner back there, Eric Weaver. It looked like the 2 of them in on the tackle.
3rd down, they call it 9. 3 receivers split to the right side. Merrill under center. Another receiver split wide left. And Scott the single back behind Merrill, and they'll hand it to him on the draw, and he's got running room. To the 20, to the 15, and down to the 10-yard line goes G.W. Scott on an outstanding draw play by Quincy.
That was exactly that, an outstanding draw play by Quincy. As Merrill looked as if he was going to play action, roll it out to the right, and throw the ball there on 3rd and 10, and he stuck it right in the belly of his running back, kept on rolling to the right. The whole Redbird defense went with the pass fake, and you looked up, and the Quincy running back was busting down the left side for a 1st down.
From the 10-yard line, 1st and goal now for the Blue Devils. 3:41 to go, 3rd quarter action. Merrill under center, man in motion. Gibbons takes the handoff, turns it up, and picks up a yard, and they'll be dropped there, 2nd down. Second and goal. Now another Redbird down on the field. Timeout on the field. We'll take a break and be back after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Hi, George Weber. Here's 3 more great reasons to visit Weber Chevrolet this fall. Number 1, product. Chevrolet has the best lineup of vehicles in the market today. Cobalt, Malibu, Impala, Silverado, Traverse, Equinox. Reason number 2, the deals. Right now, we have extra incentives and aggressive pricing on all of our units, resulting in huge savings. Number 3, your trade-in. After Cash for Clunkers, we were forced to crush so many of our trades that our pre-owned inventory needs some help. Your used vehicle has never been worth more.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money, too.
Welcome back to Alton Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis, and it's Triplett who's helped off the field. Still working on that leg. We've seen him hobble off earlier. Second down and goal for Quincy. Single back behind the quarterback. Man in motion. And they'll hand it off inside, right up the middle, all the way in. Touchdown, Quincy.
They look like Trey Bradley. If my eyes serve me correctly, Trey Bradley busted that up the middle. Nobody even really got a hand on Trey Bradley as he went through the line and into the end zone for a touchdown, and that hurts the Alton Redbirds right there. That kills a little bit of spirit here in the stands, and that makes it a 3-touchdown game.
First carry of the night for Trey Bradley, and he puts 6 more on the board for the Quincy Blue Devils. They try to tack on the extra. Here's a kick on the way, and another strong kick from Smith to make it a 21-0 lead now in favor of Quincy with 3:11 to go here, third quarter. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
So we'll retire to the mountains.
Oh, but I love the ocean.
There are places you want to get to in life, like retirement. And now your State Farm agent can help guide you with the free State Farm Insurance and Financial Review to prioritize your needs and help you plan a roadmap for your financial future. Come on, nothing beats pine trees.
Except for palm trees.
Call and schedule yours today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Contact Tom Lane to lay out your roadmap to retirement today at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Welcome back to Alton Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis as Quincy kicks off to the Redbirds, and this one going to sail towards the end zone, and it's like another touchback as Smith showing off that foot once again. They'll have it at the 20, and the Redbirds still looking for their first points of the year. Down 21-0. Had a good drive to start this ball game, but really have sputtered since then. A couple of good plays here and there, but no really good long drive of consecutive first downs and that type of thing from the Redbird offense.
Yeah, not since the first drive of the game, as you mentioned, have they been able to stack first downs up and move the ball. And, Coach Allball probably just wants to see some positive football here on this drive.
They'll give it to Lawrence Moore on the play that they had some success with early in this ball game. He'll work his way around the end and get to about the 22, and that's going to bring up second down.
Lawrence Moore just took a big hit by the Quincy defense to push him out of bounds, but Lawrence Moore's a very tough young man as he bounced right back up and jogs back to the huddle. I've been impressed with Lawrence Moore so far, his speed, his toughness. Looks like he sees the field pretty well. Tough little running back there for the Alton Redbirds.
Newquist to the line of scrimmage. Have Andre Moore directly behind him. Lawrence Moore, the wingback on the left side, man in motion. They'll hand it off back inside on the counter. Here's Lawrence Moore. Moore has found the sidelines, now turns it back up and is stopped at the 45. And a nice run by Lawrence Moore, his longest of the night.
Well, it was a nice counter play there by the Alton Redbirds offense, and I don't think really anybody in the stadium knew who was coming down the field with that ball until the Quincy defense got to Lawrence Moore as they broke out of there, a fake one way, a fake the other way, and next thing you know, Lawrence Moore's 20 yards down the field and keep on trucking. So the Alton Redbirds definitely not giving up, showing some life here and trying to work this ball down the field.
From the 46-yard line. First and 10. Newquist takes the snap and play action. Fires it out to Andre Moore, who doesn't have much room as he catches that one near the sidelines, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a short gain of about 2 or 3 yards, but the only reason that pass was completed and the only reason Corbin Newquist wasn't planted back there was because of the big block by Lawrence Moore. Little number 31 picked up D'Angelo Dean, the 6'5" defensive end, coming around the outside, the backside of the quarterback, Corbin Newquist, and Lawrence Moore, excellent job picking up that block. Newquist able to deliver the ball on time and a short pickup for the Redbirds.
Redbirds send a receiver split wide left. Wing left and right, a single back behind the quarterback, Newquist. And here comes Lawrence Moore in motion. They'll hand it back off, though, on the reverse, and nowhere to go this time for the Redbirds. Dropped for a huge loss there is number 22, Quinion Buchanan.
No, that's not a good follow-up play to the first down play. They were able, 2nd and 7, keep it in a range where you can get it. And then they go backwards for about 7 yards, and that's going to bring up about 3rd and 14 here. It's definitely not a situation the Redbird offense looks comfortable in when they're 3rd and long.
3rd and 15 for the Redbirds. Lawrence Moore lines up as a wing back on that left side, now in motion. They fake it to him, and pressured and dropped is Newquist. The blitz coming, and a couple of Blue Devils back there finish off Newquist at about the 30.
Well, Jordan Huber, number 76, the senior defensive tackle, 6'2", 270 pounds, and he busted right through the middle of that line. Somebody in the interior of the Redbird line, whether it be the center or the guard, missed their assignment there, and Newquist was getting tackled before he could even get set up, and Jordan Huber, a big sack there for Quincy.
And the Redbirds will punt it away. Couple of men back deep for Quincy near their own 30. Now whistles blow, and timeout going to be called by the Redbirds. They may not have all their personnel out there. They'll take a timeout here with 1:02 to go in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Oh, they sure didn't. I know I had 10 out there. Or 22 just ran out there.
You see special teams timeout, it's usually like
yeah, it's exactly what it was too, because when you said I started counting, and I counted 10, and then there goes 22.
So I had to worry about that because that's all I played was special teams.
So what are we looking at here?
I don't know. I was about to mention that again. And I'm like, no one's really stood out. I'm saying Scott at this point.
I mean, it can be the other team.
Yeah, it could be both teams. Either team.
I didn't know we had Vincent all.
No.
I mean, yeah, maybe the QB, but probably Scott.
Yeah.
Merrill's been pretty good.
It's got to be Scott or more for all.
Yeah. It's hard to do it. It's kind of hard.
Right. I'm going with Paul Canerpo myself. But he ain't no Andrew Jones, is he? No. He's having a hell of a year.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. The Redbirds set to punt it away. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis, and this punt fielded. And the return is on by Quincy. They'll work it all the way into Redbird territory to about the Alton 40-yard line. And a nice return there by Jordan McGriff.
Jordan McGriff took that ball, that punt, fielded it about his own 38-yard line, and took it all the way across midfield down to the Alton 40. About a 22, 23-yard return. Not a bad punt there by Tyler McLemore. I'll tell you what, McLemore's done a pretty good job punting that ball here tonight for the Alton Redbirds. He gets good hang time. He gets pretty good distance on it. I've been pretty impressed with number 80, Tyler McLemore, punting the football.
Could he be the Munganess Alton Toyota Player of the Game? That's coming up at the end of this one. Don't forget that, folks.
Well, I'm still hoping it's going to be an Alton Redbird, and if that's going to happen, that means we're going to see an exciting final few minutes here.
Redbirds, the player coming onto the field late. Now the ball loose. A fumble, and we'll see who come up with it. I think Quincy's going to get it back, and they will. snap fumble, and that'll bring up second down. This Quincy offense like a machine in the first half, but we've seen some bad play out of them here in the second half, although they have been able to put a touchdown on the board. Seen a few more flags and quite a few drop balls. They've got them all back, though. Here's a handoff around the end, and nowhere to go that time for McGriff, who had the carry.
It looked like number 88. I believe that's Mark Collins, defensive end of the Redbirds. He's done a nice job out there tonight. He did a good job there tackling the running back for a 1-yard loss.
That's going to bring it into quarter number 3. Alton Redbirds trailing Quincy 21-0 with a quarter to go. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. We get set to start quarter number 4. Redbirds trailing 21-0. Blue Devils facing 3rd and 11 from the 42-yard line of Alton. Dropping straight back, the quarterback firing and completing it down near the 30 for a first down. Merritt with a nice throw there, and the completion as the ball caught by Drew Forrest.
A nice strong throw there by Merrill. It's one of the very few times we've seen him actually set up in the pocket, just a regular drop back, set up, and throw the football. And did a good job there putting it on the money, and a nice pickup for the Blue Devils.
Now, official timeout on the field. Talking over near the Redbird sideline.
Not quite sure what this is about.
Is there a player down maybe right there?
They're
looking down on the ground. I think some player maybe injured near the sideline there.
Well, I'm thinking it's Andrew Moore again. Andrew Moore was a little bit late getting up after that hit on the wide receiver, and I never saw him actually jog back out to the huddle. I'm thinking he might have just, because it was on that near sideline, on the Redbird sideline where the receiver caught the ball and got hit, and I'm thinking he might have just rolled off the field. And that's what the referees are looking at over there.
Giving him some time to get him a little further off the field, it looks like.
Yes, that is Andrew Moore down there, being tended to by Redbird trainer Andy Renner. Looks like another leg issue for Moore.
Seen Moore and Triplett both battling with their legs tonight here in this ball game. Well, time on the field, timeout on the field. We'll take one too. We'll be back after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I say something. Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. First down and 10, Quincy from the Alton 27. And they're going to give it to number 3. He'll try the left side. Now turn it up, still on his feet, and they're a first down. Stop shy of the first down, or right at the first down, Malik Robbins. And really, Quincy's starting to show quite a few more backs coming into the ball game now.
Well, Malik Robbins is just a freshman, just a 9th grader there, and he shows him A little bit of speed, a little bit of toughness, a good run there on his first carry of the game, and not bad size either. He stands about 6 foot, goes about 165 pounds, and Malik Robbins, the 9th grader, getting a touch.
Looks like they're going to bring the chains out to measure here. See if Robbins got enough for the first down. First time we've seen the chains tonight. Chain gang on the field, and that's a first down for Quincy. Another Quincy first down, this time by the freshman. This will set up a 1st and 10, and Quincy needs to get down to about the 7 to get a first down. Merritt under center. Gives it to the second man through. Fights his way forward. Not much there, but picks up a few, and that's Trey Bradley, who had the last touchdown for Quincy.
You know, it looks like that might be a new quarterback in the game for Quincy. Looks like maybe Casey Schuster, backup quarterback in the game for the Blue Devils now.
Getting some playing time here in the 4th quarter. Still 10:50 to go in this ball game. Under center. And we'll hand it off inside. Nowhere to go that time. No gain. And that's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, the Redbirds did a good job of getting through the middle of the line there, and they sniffed that run out early on. The whole line penetrated into the middle, and they'll bring up 4th down here for the Blue Devils. My mistake, correction. Is that 3rd down?
It's 3rd down. 3rd down and 4.
I was just hoping it was 4th down. I'm seeing into the future it's going to be 4th down.
Let's hope you're right. Schuster with a handoff and the reverse. And carrying the ball into first down territory and into the end zone. The Quincy Blue Devils put 6 more on the board. I believe that was the freshman Malik Robbins on the carry. There is flag down, though, near the 10-yard line.
Well, if this play stands, that's a heck of a touchdown run. He made a nice move down there at about the 2.5-yard line to juke his way into the end zone, and then bowled over the Redbird tackler right at the goal line to get in.
This penalty looks like it's going to be against the Redbirds, so the touchdown will count. Now they'll set up for the extra point.
Well, Brandon White jogs out there, and you know where this one's about to go. It's about to sail over the track back there. Be interesting to watch him kick at this end, see how far this ball goes off the right foot of Brandon White.
It's him orange shoes, man. That's where he gets that power. Here's a kick. It is up and good. He's now a perfect 4 for 4 on extra points. 28-0 now the score. Quincy leading the Alton Redbirds. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
To-do lists rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 7062.
American Family Insurance.
Welcome back to Alton's Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis as Quincy kicking off again. Here's Lawrence Moore on the return, working his way out to the 20-yard line and knocked down at about the 23. And that's where the Redbirds will start 1st and 10.
Well, it's about 9.5 minutes to go here in the game. Alton High desperately looking for something positive to take into next week, and you'd like to see them put together something here, some sort of drive, pick up some first downs, maybe get some points on the board, get this season rolling a little bit.
Trailing 28-0 to the Quincy Blue Devils. And here comes the quarterback, Newquist. Corbin Newquist onto the field with the play, and now the Redbirds to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion. Blitz shown by Quincy, and this ball knocked down on a pass attempt by Newquist. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
You know, we thought maybe they put in Casey Schuster, Quincy that is, at quarterback just to give Merrill some rest, but Merrill has just walked over here to the locker room, and he looks as if maybe he's dinged up a little bit, and that's why he came out of the game, as he's gone into the locker room here, the starting quarterback of the Quincy Blue Devils.
Redbirds come to the line of scrimmage with a receiver split wide left. 9:39 to go in this one. Newquist will hand it off inside to Lawrence Moore. Nowhere to go for Lawrence Moore, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, Quincy's looking to just tee off here on Lawrence Moore, and they're getting a little bit amped up out there on defense. And you know, I know it's 28-0, and you'd like to see him throw the ball maybe if you're a Redbird fan, but at the same time, you got to get the offense going. You got to get the line ready to block. You got to keep doing what you do. You know, you just play football and hopefully play through it and maybe get something to work here. You don't want to get all out of your element and start launching the ball all over the field, because that's just not the offense that Coach Allaball and the Redbirds have here.
Looking for anything right now are the Redbirds to get some confidence in this Redbird team. They'll send a receiver split wide left. Now whistles blow, and timeout going to be called by the Alton Redbirds. Timeout on the field. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Why is Roberts Motors #1 in Ford certified pre-owned sales in the St. Louis Metro East?
Visit the 169-point inspection all our vehicles go through.
Maybe it's because we've been doing it for over 60 years.
Or is it the large selection we keep in stock at all times?
Personally, I think the answer is all the above. Stop in today and see. Nobody does pre-owned better than Roberts Motors.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years in Alton, Illinois, or on the web at RiverBender.com.
Did you know that members of Olin Community Credit Union benefit from local service? At Olin Community Credit Union, they keep everything local. They service your loans locally from the time you apply until your final payment. If you're looking to buy or refinance a home, loans are made easy with their online mortgage center. You can view current rates, apply online, sign up for Rate Watch, or contact one of Olin Community Credit Union's mortgage representatives for more information. www.olincreditunion.org.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. Newquist brings his team to the line of scrimmage, now facing 3rd down and 11. Dropping back, looking downfield, and firing, has a man, and that ball is caught at the 35-yard line. Had to wait to see if they were going to call that a catch, and they do, and that's Douglas Jones as Newquist hooks up with him near the 35 for a Redbird 1st down, and a nice play there.
A nice strong throw there by Corbin Newquist. Douglas Jones found the soft spot in the zone, set up, and ball was delivered. A good strike there. And that's about 3 or 4 times now that Douglas Jones has been targeted by Corbin Newquist, and once for a catch, once was overthrown. Another one, I guess, would be classified a drop, but that would have been an outstanding catch on that one by Douglas Jones early in the game. But looks like Newquist and Jones have a little bit of a chemistry going between the two of them here this evening.
Newquist under center as Jones steps out. Here's Lawrence Moore. And they try to get the handoff to him, and it looked like Moore had run past the quarterback, and Newquist couldn't get it to him, and now they chase Newquist down and drop him.
There wasn't a whole lot of help on the backside there. And I believe it was number 78 for Quincy. Austin Wheatenauer, the big senior defensive lineman, came free from around that right side and was able to just tee off on Newquist from the backside.
That's going to bring up second down for Alton. 2nd and 18. Newquist under center. Man in motion. They fake it to him. They try the counter. Can't get it off, so Newquist going to have to fight his way forward, and he'll work his way to the 29. Gain of a yard or so.
Lawrence Moore went down on that play in the backfield. The fake handoff to him, and it looked like he went to turn upfield, and I believe he twisted his knee or his ankle or something. He's down in the backfield, and that's not a good sign either.
Moore down on the field, timeout on the field. We'll take a break too. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from Tony.
Yeah! Woo!
The Oilers center ice. 13 has it. Oh, a shot a little bit wide. Oilers keep it in the zone.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Brian Lewis. The Redbirds' Newquist going to drop straight back. Firing it down the center of the field and incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
It looked like that was Dorian Scruggs, the intended receiver down there. Ball hit him in the hands. Good throw by Newquist. He threw it right in the middle of 3 defenders that were triangulated in the middle of the field. He threaded the needle, got it right in there, and Scruggs jumped but couldn't hold on to it. Newquist seems to deliver a pretty good ball here. I like the way Corbin Newquist throws this football here for the Redbirds.
He's had a pretty good ball game. And now the Redbirds set to punt it away. Good snap back, and here's a high punt. It's going to take a Redbird roll all the way into Quincy territory, down to near the 25. They'll stop it at the 27, and that's where Quincy will take over 1st and 10. And the Blue Devils probably want to try to get that running game going now and run some clock here in the 4th quarter, up 28-0.
And that turns out to be a 45-yard punt there by McLemore. Once again, he put a nice punt on. He did get a good roll, a good bounce to add on the yardage, but a nice punt once again by Tyler McLemore. And I know it's not something you want to hear, that your punter's doing a good job, because that means he's on the field a lot and you don't want to hear that. But tonight, Tyler McLemore has done an outstanding job of punting that football when he's been called upon.
Quincy to the line of scrimmage. Sends a man in motion. And the quarterback going to keep it. And Schuster, with no place to go, dropped at the 25. Thought they were going to go back to the freshman there, Robbins, for a second, but Schuster kept it.
Mark Collins on the sack there. Number 88 once again in on a tackle. Mark Collins has had a good ball game here for the Redbirds, playing defensive end tonight. Coming up with that sack.
Split backs behind the quarterback, and now flag flies as they hand it off over the left side in motion. Probably going to be the call here. It looked like the freshman Robbins took off a bit early from that wingback position.
I believe you are right, partner. Looked like illegal motion was the call. And they'll back them up.
Mark off 5, and that stops the clock. 6:33. It's going to be declined by the Redbirds. That'll bring up third down, 3rd and 10.
I guess at this point, you take the down, you try to get the ball back as opposed to backing them up any. It's just 5 yards, really.
Clock running. Schuster brings the Blue Devils to the line. Send the freshman in motion, and they give it to him. Malik Robbins, and he's into Alton territory almost as he stopped at the midfield stripe, and this freshman looks impressive.
Very impressive. He looks even more impressive than G.W. Scott did early on. Malik Robbins, the 9th grader, he's only got about 4 carries. He's pushing 52 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown right now. And he's got speed, he's got vision, he's got good bounce. He looks like he's got quick feet. He can turn on a dime, and he's definitely not running the football like a 9th grader.
Schuster under center, sends Robbins in motion again, and they'll hand it off. Well, it looks like Schuster kept it, and he stopped at the midfield stripe.
Schuster keeping it on that one, and Robbins was a little tardy coming around on the motion there, and couldn't quite catch up to Schuster for the pitch, so Schuster just held on to the ball and picks up about 2 yards on the play.
Into Redbird territory to the 49, 2nd down and 8 with 5:20 to go. And here's a handoff right side, this time in a good hole and good running room as the back takes it across the 40 up to about the 37-yard line. To see who this is on the carry this time, looks like number 6. Josh Munson on the carry that time for the Blue Devils.
Well, there's definitely a stable of running backs here for the Quincy Blue Devils. You know, you think G.W. Scott's the man you're going to see all night, and we've seen very little of him in the second half after a very strong first half, and they've turned it over to a couple of these other guys, and Quincy looks very, very deep at the running back position.
Here's Schuster giving it to the freshman Robbins, who shows he's got some power as well for a little guy. Rolls over a tackler, taking him to the 35, and there's Laundry on the field. Well, he really put his shoulder down that time, though.
When you look at the Quincy roster, at least for tonight, you've got the freshman out here, Malik Robbins running the ball well. Josh Munson just got a carry. You got Andre Givens, the senior tailback, who's got a handful of carries and run the ball real well, especially on the outside. You got G.W. Scott, the fullback, that's grinded it out for him.
Don't forget Trey Bradley, who has a touchdown.
Yeah, Trey Bradley has a 15-yard touchdown run up the middle. And then Girth. Don't forget about Dan Girth. Right. Dan Girth's mixed in a few good runs, too. So Quincy's using about 5 or 6 kids here at running back, and each and every one of them is doing a good job in their own right.
First down and 17 now. And it's the first man through, the fullback. Nowhere to go, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
There's another new guy getting the rock there. That's Miles Blakemore, senior fullback. getting a carry for Quincy on that play.
Takes us down to the 4-minute mark. Under 4 minutes to play now, fourth quarter action. 2nd down and 17 for Quincy as they come to the line. Robbins in motion. He's got the football. He's going to try and get around the end and does. Turns it upfield and is near another Quincy first down. This Robbins is explosive out of the backfield.
I got a feeling he's going to get more playing time as this season goes on for the Quincy Blue Devils.
Taking advantage of getting some playing time here late in this ball game, and he has a touchdown, and he has showed great speed and toughness out there as well, as we've seen him run a guy over. Not very big kid.
Well, I've unofficially got him for 5 carries, 61 yards.
They list him at 6 foot, but I don't think that's quite right.
He definitely doesn't look 6 foot from here.
If he's 6 foot, then most of those guys out there are 6'6" or bigger. 165 pounds is about right. Here's the handoff, and this time right side as flags fly, and turning it upfield, another good run from a different back, it looks like. Not exactly sure if that's 28 or 26.
I think it was Jordan McGriff, 28, I believe, on that run.
Called his name a couple times tonight, along with Drew Forrest, number 26. They'll throw a couple more names in that list of running backs we've seen tonight. The offensive line needs to work on not holding, though. We've seen quite a few holding penalties from Quincy tonight.
Yeah, mostly here in this second half, too. You know, the first half there was a flag or two maybe on Quincy, but not a whole lot. Most of the laundry on the field went against the Redbirds. And here in the second half, it's kind of been the other way. A lot of the penalties have been against Quincy, but Alton unable to take advantage of the fact that Quincy's not playing very sound football here.
Yeah, it'll set up a 3rd and 13 after the holding penalty. We'll see who gets the call here with 2:55 left to go in this ball game. Schuster will hand it off to number 1, his first carry of the night. He'll turn it up and get to the 40-yard line, and that's David Arnold. Arnold coming in for the freshman Robbins, and he'll get a touch and pick up a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down, but Quincy going to take a timeout. 2:30 left to go. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
Hi, George Weber. Here's 3 more great reasons to visit Weber Chevrolet this fall. Number 1, product. Chevrolet has the best lineup of vehicles in the market today. Cobalt, Malibu, Impala, Silverado, Traverse, Equinox. Reason number 2, the deals. Right now, we have extra incentives and aggressive pricing on all of our units, resulting in huge savings. Number 3, your trade-in. After Cash for Clunkers, we were forced to crush so many of our trades that our pre-owned inventory needs some help. Your used vehicle has never been worth more.
Welcome back to Alton Public School Stadium. Dennis Slayer alongside Brian Lewis. 2:30 to go in this one. 4th down and 12 now as Quincy sets up in punt formation from the Redbird 40. Single man back deep for the Redbirds, stands on his goal line as here comes a punt. And it's punted straight up in the air. It's going to take a Redbird bounce and then a Quincy bounce, and they'll down it at about the 25. Redbirds get another shot here and maybe putting some points on the board before it's over. 2:19 to go in this one. I like to see them air it out a bit. Newquist has shown some good throws, and why not? 2 minutes to go. Try something different.
Well, let's see if Coach Allball's listening to you, Dennis.
They're going to hand it off. And good running room out to the 30-yard line. That's number 22 on the carry that time for the Alton Redbirds. Quincy Buchanan, we've seen him a few times here in the second half.
Quentin Buchanan picked up about 6 yards on that play. But a long way to go with not a whole lot of time left to do it.
Redbirds got a bit banged up tonight. They might be content with just taking this one to the locker room. There's a handoff inside. There's Lawrence Moore back on the field, and look at him go. He's at the 40, out to the midfield stripe, down the sideline to the 40-yard line, and knocked out of bounds. And a good run by Lawrence Moore, who comes in here late in the ball game with another nice run.
Yeah, Lawrence Moore continuing to play a strong game here tonight. He had a good run, and he turned it into a great run as he got it outside, made a nice juke on the safety, worked his way down the sideline. For a minute, it looked like he might get enough separation to maybe bust that the whole way, but good enough for there. About a 35, 40-yard run there.
1st and 10 Redbirds in Quincy territory. Newquist going to throw, has a man wide open at the 30. And extra effort out to the 25-yard line, and that's been his favorite receiver tonight, Douglas Jones, with the reception. And a nice throw again by Newquist. Of course, Jones wide open.
Yeah, Quincy's giving a big cushion out there on the corner. They don't want to get burned deep. They're giving about an 8-yard, 10-yard cushion on the corner, and Brown just ran down about 7 yards, did a nice little hook, and Newquist threw the bullet right to him.
Looks like there's a flag on the far side of the field. Penalty here against the Redbirds.
It's going to be illegal motion. And normally when the flag's laying in that particular spot, it's that split in, that wide out there on that side. Takes off just a little too soon.
2nd down coming up now for the Redbirds.
It's kind of been a common theme tonight, Dennis. A nice play or something exciting happening, and then a flag to bring it back for Alton.
Until it's week 1 tonight. Newquist under center with a man in motion, Buchanan. He'll take the handoff. Buchanan around the end. Buchanan to the 30-yard line, still on his feet. Knocked out about the 25.
Well, Quentin Buchanan did a great job of following his blocker there. He got right in behind him and was able to pick up an extra 8 to 10 yards because of that. And that blocker was Lawrence Moore. Lawrence Moore out there leading the play, throwing a great block for his teammate. Alton's down to the 25-yard line again, desperately wanting some points here in the opening game.
1:11 to go. Clock stop. And they'll go with the reverse. Here's Lawrence Moore trying to get around the end. He does, and turns it upfield. Moore at the 15 and stopped at the 12. Lawrence Moore making a bid for the player of the game here late in this ball game.
He sure is. A tremendous run by Lawrence Moore, getting it down into the red zone. But what a block by Corbin Newquist on there as he decleated the big defensive end of Quincy as Lawrence Moore went around him. And when the Redbirds sit down and watch film here in the upcoming week, it's going to be a great time for Corbin Newquist to point out to everybody else that block he made. But you don't ever see the quarterback hit guys like that.
In motion, Moore. He takes the handoff again, turns it upfield. Moore headed for the end zone and stopped at the 2.
Well, it looked like they were going to have Moore tied up out there about the 12, 13-yard line, and all of a sudden he just put his head down and took off and bowled his way down to the 2-yard line.
Here comes Douglas Jones into the ball game. First and goal for the Redbirds, looking for their first touchdown of the season with 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Newquist with the quarterback sneak, and he is in. Newquist puts 6 on the board for the Redbirds with 17 seconds to go.
Well, the Alton Redbirds giving the home crowd a little something to cheer about here late in the game, and you got to like what you see is along the lines of not giving up, continuing to play the game. An outstanding drive there. They threw the ball a little bit. A big dose of Lawrence Moore on the ground, and the Redbirds have put it into the end zone. So it's not going to be a terrible night here on State Street for the Redbirds.
You got to love it when you take that goose egg off the board. Looks like the Redbirds may go for 2. I think that's a good idea. I'd like to see Lawrence Moore here. 17 seconds to go. He's in motion. Takes the handoff. Whoa, he slips. Oh, loses the football. It's loose. And let's see who comes up with it. Looks like Quincy going to end up with the football. And I think if Lawrence Moore stays on his feet, he gets in, but he slipped a bit as he tried to turn that corner and then lost the football. So the PAT fails, and the score remains 28-6 in favor of Quincy. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt
in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. The Redbirds on the board with 6 from Newquist on a 1-yard run. Now the squib kick to be fielded at about the 10, and Quincy just going to take a knee. Now they'll get the football and run this clock out with a final play here, and the final score going to be 28-6 in favor of Quincy. And it's going to be a tough call tonight on the Mungan-Ass Alton Toyota player of the game. Got a few different options, and from the Quincy side of things, a lot of their players leaving early here in the second half, so stat-wise, really not racking up the numbers, but we've seen some outstanding play from G.W. Scott tonight from the Quincy side. The freshman looking good late in the ball game.
Quarterback Mitch Merrill looked pretty good for him early on as well. But you're right, they kind of spread it out.
There's the final play of the ball game, and the final score 28-6, and we'll be back with that player of the game after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.